Turn your radio up. Louder. Louder. Just a little bit louder. Because the next hour, you're going to be tuned in to Donnie Jones Live with Donnie Jones and Mardy Ringer. Hey, can we just stick with Mardy? Because like that Mardy Ring, it don't have that ring to it, you know? I'm just saying. And Mardy, with your hosts Donnie Jones and Mardy, sponsored by Don's Tree Service, is Donnie Jones Live, right here, right now, right now. Donnie Jones Live.
Hello. Welcome to Donnie Jones Live. I am your host, Donnie Jones, hanging out with
Mardy Ringer. Yes, this wonderful day. How you doing, Miss Donnie?
Man, I am doing good. How about you?
You know, I'm doing better. I'm doing better.
Okay.
Yeah, had a little issue over the weekend. I had a little virus or something, and it was just bugging me. And you know, people don't notice, but when you're a preacher and you get a virus on you, you know, it kind of changes.
You don't want to hug people. You don't want to shake hands.
When you get up there to preach and that bubble hits you in your stomach, and then you just say, "Oh Lord, gee, why the choir give us one more selection?" Oh. That was the first time I ever had to do that. I was like,
that's all right.
Just give us an encore. Just give us a B and C selection. I need to go and pray for a second. But yeah. But other than that, I'm feeling better.
I got
I'm
a
feeling
question.
better.
Did everything come out all right?
Oh Lord, yes. All the mustard seed and everything. He blessed me that day.
That is called TMI.
Well, you asked. Yes. He touched my soul, the inside, like fire shot up in my He helped me that day.
Marty,
so it was a blessed Sunday. It was a blessed Sunday,
man.
Right.
I had a great weekend too, and I'm excited about this show. But I got to tell you, man, this weekend, I know I talked to you a little bit about this, but we did our final scuba lesson, you know, because me and my family are taking scuba lessons, and I felt like I'm pretty good at this, and I'm comfortable in the water. I nearly almost drowned.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wait, don't you scuba dive in like 3 feet of water? Two. You can't just stand up? You know?
No, but see what happened was you're supposed to practice taking your little apparatus. Okay, my kids are probably going, "Mommy, you ain't got to explain all this." But anyway, you're supposed to take a little apparatus off your mouth and then put the safety one on. Well, for some reason, I had a hard time figuring out where my safety one was, and I got scared. So,
Panicked in 3 feet of water.
Panicked in 3 feet of water.
But we ain't going to tell
And my
anybody.
husband was like, "Just stand up, honey."
You can just get on your knees and just lift your head up,
Just
baby.
lift your head up.
Right.
So other than almost dying, I had a really good weekend.
Well,
but I'm
good.
excited about this show, man. We've got the wonderful, the effervescent Tonya Henderson Freeman on our show today. Yay! Now, y'all want to know, well, who the heck is Tonya Henderson Freeman? So some of y'all already know her, but for those that don't, she's an amazing woman that has been doing great things with young women and young girls.
Right.
And if any of y'all have middle school or high school girls, you can know that could be a little bit of a challenge. Well, she's put together a program called Dolls to Divas, an organization that basically helps young women become the women that they should be, women of character, honor, and all that fun stuff. So,
you know, I got some seniors that need to get back into that class because they missed it. You know, you got some grown women that don't know how to be.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we're going to let Tonya talk because we've been talking for like 4 minutes now. Ain't heard none from her. Tonya, talk to us. Tell us about yourself, Tonya.
Yes.
About myself. Okay, well, about me personally, I am a native Atlantean and very, very proud of that. Went to school in DeKalb County.
I didn't mean you have to go back to your birthday.
Right, we don't need the whole history. Like, what's really going on?
No, we do want to know about you. I'm just messing with you. But you know, the fact that you're a native Atlantan, that's like unusual. Right? It's very rare. Like, nobody in Atlanta is from Atlanta.
No, it's a melting pot.
And you can tell when you get on the highway. So
Yeah,
anyway, that's
yeah.
another story.
Yeah.
So talk to us about how you came to be this amazing woman that you are.
Okay. From the Dolls to Divas perspective?
From
Or
every
is it
how
same
you,
perspective? Okay.
Yeah, what made you want to do something for other people?
Yeah.
You know, because that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that goes back
Thank
to
you,
my
Mardy.
parents. And both of my parents were educators in Atlanta, in the Atlanta public school system. And I always had a desire to start an organization that would help young ladies. Initially, I didn't know which age group I was going to focus on. But with my mom being a middle school teacher, she explained to me that it's very important to catch kids at the middle school age, boys and girls. They're going through a lot of emotional changes. They're going through peer pressure.
That's all
I'm saying I tried that same model. I wanted to do some things with some young kids, young ladies, but it wasn't like church. It wasn't healthy and stuff. But I was trying to say, how can I develop you at an early age to be the perfect woman that I wanted? But
I got you. Marty taking us another direction, right?
I'm just giving you my proper information. Just I tried that route, but I had to do a cutoff after a while.
Okay, well
getting in trouble.
Marty about to catch a case.
I know. That's why I said I had to stop. When I realized, so I have to change.
I was in the choir and he came up behind me.
Right. I can't lay hands on all kids. No,
you cannot lay hands on anybody.
No.
But as you were saying,
Yeah.
I think the reason why we connected so much is because I've got school-age girls, and I just saw what you were doing with your daughter, and I'm thinking, okay, as much as I like working with young people, I don't know if I would have had the idea to be able to build something that would be fruitful like what you've done.
Yeah, so I will say this. Everybody has a niche in life. You know, your gift is different than mine, and my gift happens to be kids, you know, and mentoring kids and actually people of all ages. I don't know, it's just like a magnet for me. So like I was saying, my mom was saying, catch kids at the middle school age because of the peer pressure. They're going through emotional changes. They're going through physical changes. Some want to be grown, some want to be babies, and all within 1 hour sometimes. So it's a very challenging age group, but it's also a fun age group.
It is.
And really all they want is love and attention and somebody, to really care.
You know what somebody told me? They said what they really want is to be heard. They want to know that you hear them, you know? And I think sometimes when I grew up, it was like kids are supposed to be seen, not heard. And that is just so unhealthy, when raising a child.
That's a really good
daughters.
point too, especially transitioning now to, like you said, when we were growing up, and what kids are told and taught now. Even in school, they're encouraged to share their opinions. And then they come home and we're like, you don't have an opinion. So, so it's a balance that you have to have in dealing with kids of today's generation.
Exactly.
And I want to ask a serious question. Do you have a challenge with, you're teaching a young daughter, a young lady, how to be a lady, but then she goes home to an environment that has no kind of structure about that? Do you deal with that, and how do you handle that? Because you can only have them for an hour or so, but then they have to go home to this structured house that they don't talk the same way.
Or lack of structure.
Lack of structure. Do you see yourself working with these kids, and then they kind of relapsing when they go home?
Okay, so with that question, I have to say that the majority of the girls that I've worked with really have an environment that's kind of balanced, at home and away from home.
Okay.
So you work with the good kids.
Well, but you know what? No, but let's talk about that. No, let's talk about that for real. Because there have been times, like, we can all on the outside appear to be good and perfect and all of that. However, some girls still have challenges at home, but there might not be a challenge like what you were saying, Marty, going from one environment where you're taught something very structural and then going back to an environment where it's like there is no structure. I can say my father dealt with that, in his career. For me, I have not dealt with that particular environment. So what I would say is I focus on helping any girl focus on their self-esteem, being really comfortable with their body image, being very comfortable with identifying their own talents and what their desires are and speaking on them.
Yes.
And not allowing people to change their dreams. Because I think, especially in the African American community, parents sometimes have their desire, what they want their kids to do. And again, it goes back to not being heard. They don't listen to their kids and help their kids identify their talent. So we talk a lot about that, and I will say, no, I'm not saying I've never worked with a young lady like that.
Child,
it just hasn't been brought to my attention.
You ain't worked like with nobody like I was a kid. Like when I was a kid, you ain't worked.
Right. How can people get in contact with you if they want their daughter to get into your program?
All right, so I have a email address, dolls, DOLLS, the number 2, divas, DIVAS, 06 @gmail.com. That's really the best way
to get in contact with you.
And
Here's what we're going to do.
Okay,
we're going to take a quick break because I really want to get into the meat and potatoes.
Okay.
Literally, because I'm hungry. No, I'm just kidding. I want to get into the meat and potatoes of what you do with these young girls and your vision for the future of your organization. So you guys, we'll be coming right back. I'm Donnie Jones with
Mardy Ringer.
And you are listening to Donnie Jones Live, and we'll be right back.
Donnie Jones Live is sponsored by Don's Tree Service. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, just send us an email at DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com. That's DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com.
Hi, we are back. I am Donnie Jones. You are listening to Donnie Jones Live with Donnie and
Mardy.
Yep. I think we got the mics right now, huh?
Yeah, because I couldn't hear myself. Something was wrong. I don't know. Just something was wrong. But this live radio.
Well, it don't matter if they hear me and you, but we couldn't hear Miss Tanya. That's what I was concerned about.
And she got a big voice and a big mouth, so we got to hear that.
Yeah. Marty.
They can't see
Miss Tanya, I believe he meant that in a beautiful,
but of course,
sumptuous kind of way.
I'm good with Marty.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're good with Marty. But we were talking about your organization, Dolls to Divas, and working with young girls, and that there's sometimes you're working with girls that don't have the background that you're bringing them to a background where there's structure, but they're going home to something different. How do you decide what to focus on in your organization?
All right, so I've always wanted to focus on image and charm.
Yes.
Etiquette, image, and charm. And one of my taglines is image is key. So I always keep it kind of, focused on something around image and
I need to
self-esteem.
work on my image. I need to go do my
and all of that.
Everything,
It really is.
Right.
And so it hasn't been a problem staying on point with that. It's just such a broad area. And so, like I was saying, we really focus on girls being really confident, confident with their body images, their body type, with what they want to do with their lives, having their dreams come true, thinking outside the box.
Yes,
and
that's
I really
my biggest
like
is
to
thinking
focus on
outside the box.
Outside the box, And you're great with thinking outside the box with your kids. You really are. Really. I'm
Let's
so
see, I'm a
serious.
black lady in the tree carrying the string. Outside the box. Yeah.
But at least just stay on the table, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just get way too far out to just stay on the table. And it's okay to get out the box.
I can get outside the box, just stay on the table. I've never heard that before, Marty. We need to write that down.
I had a boss that had to tell me that one time. You out there too far now.
Gotcha.
Just come on back.
Gotcha.
Come on back.
What are some of the things you see nowadays with body image? Because, of course, if everybody's not a size 4 and, 5'11" or whatever, and they see things on Instagram or on social media that can affect their image of who they are. What are you seeing nowadays?
Well, I definitely, I want to say I'm seeing some positive things now. Being that I am what you call a voluptuous woman myself, pretty much been called a thick girl all my life. And if you don't like I said,
but you're also very tall too.
Yeah, but I'm still
thick. I'm 5'4" and thick. I need to work out.
But still, I'm not your size 4. Okay,
your height to width ratio. Mine's yours is all.
But now still girls with my body type are all pretty much. You still always are outside of the radar, like you're not a size 10 or 12. 12 is considered thick in this industry. And so, like you said, a size 2 or 4 or whatever. And my daughter has the same body frame. So I was just really...
Your daughter's gorgeous, by the way.
I was just really proud that my parents raised me to be a very confident woman when I walk into the room. Yeah. And that's what I want to do with all my girls. They, just build their confidence.
And I want to ask, with society, in a sense, with when a young girl looks at TV, okay, and they see like the Nicki Minaj and all these, the Barbie, and it's like, okay, that's not real reality, everyday person. How do you kind of change their viewpoint like that? Because you're right, you have people that are heavy set. They're born like that. That's how they are. But when they look at TV and this says this is what you're supposed to be like, so everybody work on their diet to be this size 2 or whatever. And
but here's the thing: when you bring up the Nicki Minaj thing, they're not the size 2s. So I'm seeing just the opposite also, where women are or young girls are wanting to enhance their bodies or get implants and stuff to look like something that these girls didn't even look like when they were teenagers.
But this is why you start.
It's disturbing.
That's why you start at this age, this middle school age, just because everything you're bringing up is when girls really typically start kind of getting into body image and looking at TV and what they see on TV. So we focus on self-esteem, on confidence, on being comfortable with your body.
How do you tell a 13 or 14-year-old girl that might be self-conscious?
Well, there's lots of resources out there, but typically I would have a session once a month, and we have topics that we talk about in each session. And so every girl has the opportunity to, give feedback or be a part of the conversation. I listen to them. It's their time to really shine and express how they feel. A lot of times girls are not allowed to express how they feel. They're told. They're told how to act. They're told how to dress. They're told, they're told. And in good cases, they're told by their parents. But now we're just like you said, what's home like? So there's all kind of cases out there. So I'm talking about the most positive case, right? So we're hoping that in the home they're being taught to act appropriately and everything, and we just enhance on that. Now, if we had a case where that wasn't happening, we approach it a little differently. We make it be very appealing to be a girly girl. And so that's what I love. I'm a girly girl. I used to be a tomboy, but now I'm a girly girl.
That's me. I'm a tomboy, and now I'm a little bit of both. I like hooking it up and putting a little cute outfit on, like I was Sunday. I was fly, y'all. Sunday.
In here, scuba gear.
Yes.
Scuba gear about to drown.
After I almost drowned, exactly. And I love for girls to feel that confident, like they can be a tomboy one minute, and then they can hook it up and be a fly girl, girly girl the next, and you don't have to be be you just who you are.
So one thing I did want to say, and I know Marty's got something to say, but what I'm seeing in the industry now, when we're talking about body images and types and sizes, is that especially in the music industry and dancers, like people are looking for thick girls now.
Yes,
they are.
Yes, it's changing.
It's changing. What kind of dances you talking about too?
No, but I'm just saying I've seen a transition in that.
Dance, exactly.
Let's define thickness.
And that's my concern. Go ahead.
Because people have different understandings of thickness. I had and this is true. I had a close friend of mine that was like, oh, he saw this girl and he was like, she is just thick. I like that.
I like it.
Now, in my viewpoint, I'm like, oh Jesus, that's a bust. She don't pass thickness. I'm saying when she starts backing up in Walmart, you hear that dee.
Let's just say voluptuous.
No more.
But you're right, and it's not healthy.
Right, and it's not healthy.
It's not.
And then it's like, okay, now are you saying that being big or overweight is acceptable now?
No, I'm not saying that. And I never use the term big or overweight because
I'm using the term big or overweight.
Some people, it's like, is that just a nice term? Like, I don't want to hurt my little girl's feelings, so I'm saying
thick.
You really,
Marty,
really thick.
Here's what I'm saying. Because she and I knew each other for like 18 years ago. We reconnected at the gym. She's out there outperforming people that are like little tiny things. She's in there dancing and she's doing fitness.
I'm not
talking about her.
No, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about just big, like just
when it's not even jam, it's jelly and it's just moving.
We have to address that.
We
have to address
that as a health issue.
Right.
That's not an image issue. That's a health issue. And so if you're talking to someone that has an issue like that, you want to address that as a health issue.
Right. And then with that, But, sometimes, and it's honest to God, I didn't believe this when I first heard it, but they said, okay, if a skinny salesman got skinny kids, if you have an overweight mother, usually your family or your kids are on because it's a habit that is built in, and it's like, how do you change that? That habit of that generational.
You know what? We got to have honest conversations. I really believe, like what you said, you don't advocate that, and I think when you have a parent that's overweight, like I'm overweight, but my kids know, they see me eating cleaner, they see me going to the gym, they see me going, this is not okay.
Yeah, but they see your husband too. And he's a different kind of role model.
He's a hottie.
Yeah, he in shape. He
got abs, y'all. No, but anyway,
he lift trees every day. He got abs. He got a lot of different things. I'm saying, but her kids, they do have another option to look at too. So I'm not saying that they don't want to look at you, but it's a thing. No, I'm just being honest.
I was trying to figure out where he was going.
How can people get in contact with you?
One more time. How do we get in contact? Okay, so let's Marty need to go someplace.
Dolls, DOLLS, the number 2, Divas, DIVAS 06 @gmail.com.
Good deal. And the way you get in contact with us
Donnie.
is
you look good,
Marty,
Donnie.
how you get in contact with us? Tell people, I keep forgetting.
Go to DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com. That's Donnie with an I, DONI Jones, JONES @gmail.com. I should have
Donnie
the spell.
Jones Live. You forgot the live part.
That's what I was going to let. I was opening up for you.
Donnie Jones Live @gmail.com.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Yes.
All right.
Donnie Jones Live is sponsored by Don's Tree Service. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, just send us an email at DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com. That's DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com.
Hey, you are back with Donnie Jones Live. I am your host, Donnie Jones, hanging out with
Mardy Ringer.
And we have Tonya Henderson Freeman on our show today, and we're talking about her organization, Dolls to Divas. And you know what? I think we may have skipped over this, but I wanted to know, how did you get started doing this? Like, how did this come to fruition?
Yeah, how did people let their
And how
kids
long
be
you been
with you?
doing
Yeah.
it?
How did they entrust their
Yeah, how did you get people to trust their little girls with you?
All right, and then what you said about my daughter?
No, how did you get started?
Okay, make sure. So anyway, back in August, no.
I think she wants to talk
How
about
did
that.
you get your baby? Start at the beginning.
Well, I met him.
No, I'm just messing.
Okay, so anyway, as I had mentioned, my mother's a middle school teacher. There's a lot of things that I just jot down and I think about and I process and I
Right.
put them in folders and I email myself and I send myself text messages or whatever. So back in August of 2006,
Wow.
I decided to start Dolls to Divas Incorporated. I had my own child, and I said, you know what? I want to go ahead and just focus on this business. And so what I did is I started out with a cohort of girls, maybe like 10 girls. I actually knew their moms.
Yes.
So that's where the trust came in.
Yes.
And I just started doing like what I call signature events. And I would have them for 2 nights, and we would practice etiquette by going to a restaurant. We would have a speaker. Funny that we were just talking about health issues. One of my speakers actually was a doctor from CDC to talk to them about the importance of calcium to the body. I have events where they would go out and see like people like Russell Simmons.
You have
go
great
to
events.
the arts, Alvin Ailey, so we would do an event and we'd also do a slumber party. So that's where the trust came in. And again, so I was dealing with parents that I really knew. And from that point then, by word of mouth, I started working with different girls. But even when we did the sleepovers, we would have a segment called Girl Talk. And I would let them write questions on a piece of paper and put them in a bowl.
Right.
Pull them out and we talk about them openly. I had an agreement with the parents that we wouldn't be talking about sex or anything like that because really that's not my expertise.
Right.
However, if it came up,
I
would let the parent know it's time for you to have that talk with your daughter.
Right.
And so it's just, that's where we started.
It's funny you mention that because, generally speaking, if you get a bunch of girls together, it's going to come up. But I found that for my girls, and I'm not saying that I'm super mom, and who knows, I mean, they're still at a young age, but I started talking to them about sex before they even had a concept of it. I mean, I wasn't being graphic, but I wanted them to be okay with their bodies and okay with understanding that there's going to be a point where you find men attractive and you're going to have these feelings, you know what I mean? And then other things that comes along with sex. Have you noticed that some of the girls were more prepared than others? And what parents should do?
To be honest, we really don't discuss sex.
Okay.
You know, there might have been a question or two over all the years, and it's what, 18 now.
Yeah.
We really focus on image, charm, etiquette, being cool being a girl, having fun being a girl. We do all fun.
Well, they shouldn't be having sex in middle school anyway.
Well,
so
they really should.
yeah, you know.
but to your point, you always want to be prepared.
To have those conversations.
Yeah,
you know.
And so to your point, like I said, if it came up, I would just let the parent know.
Okay.
For my own daughter, personally, I think like you know, it's good to have those conversations inside the home.
Right.
And so that's why you want to bring it up to a parent if it comes up.
If it comes up, yeah.
And so that's pretty much how we started. And so we would do those events maybe like 3 times a year.
Awesome. Well, can you tell us about a pink affair?
Yeah.
Because that was the last event that you did, and I know you got another one coming up.
A nice.
And you came to the one, and I was just like, oh.
I was happy. I saw a lot of people in pink that looked cute.
Nice,
I had
a lot of girls and women in pink, right?
Yeah, and you had some food. The
food was off the chain.
Yes. But so when is your next one? Have you planned that one? Because I want to put that on my calendar.
All right. So Pink Affair typically is in the spring. I have had it in April. I've had it in May. I've had it in June. So this year my goal is to have it in April or May. Every year,
right.
in 2019, every year it has grown. It started out as an event with maybe 25 attendees, and now we're up to like 125.
Okay, time out. What is
a pink affair?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's back it up. A pink affair initially started out as a mother-daughter event. You know, just something for mothers and daughters to get together, look cute, dress up, and have tea. Our first one was a tea party, and it wasn't even entitled a pink affair. It was like a mother-daughter tea, and we had that over at the Ritz-Carlton. The following year, I partnered with a young lady, and we decided to give it a name. And so that's how I came up with a pink affair. Okay. Pink affair is actually pretty common. If you Google it, there's a lot of pink affairs out there.
But they ain't as good as your pink affair.
Right.
Okay, first
and
of
so,
all.
initially it started out as mother-daughter, and then I had women like, well, I want to come. I want to bring my niece, or I want to bring my grandbaby, or I want to bring my girlfriend, or whatever. And so it has just grown into a really nice event. We have speakers.
It's so beautiful.
We have photography. This year we had a fashion show. Maybe next year we'll add a DJ. We always have great food, and we always have really nice venues. So
that's awesome.
I do want to let people know, you know, we've had it at the Ritz-Carlton, we've had it at the Coach Swan House, we've had it at Villa Christina, we've had it at Doubletree, and this year I'm just trying to decide where I want to have it at. So
you're going to have it at the mansion.
Look out for a pink affair in the spring.
Wonderful.
And have your pink. Women really feel weird when they don't show up in their pink.
I got pink. I usually wear red, but I got pink on today.
So how does a parent right now be a part of the pink affair?
Sure.
I'm saying, is it
or Dolls to Divas?
Yeah, Dolls to Divas, or I'm saying like with the pink affair, I know you have it in the spring. But like you said, people come up to you and say, how do I get a part? And is it just do you have to be in Dolls to Diva and the
good question
pink affair is at the end, or how does it work?
All right, so Dolls to Divas is an organization which a parent would sign their daughter up for, like my session. So in 2018?
Yeah.
So 2016, up until then, I was having monthly meetings with girls. And one thing about middle school girls, they turn into high school girls.
Yes.
And even in middle school, they become very active. And it's hard to get a time that works for everybody in their schedule. So so we don't do the monthly sessions anymore right now. What I decided to do is to do more signature events like a pink affair.
Right.
So like Donna had mentioned, are we still going to do the all-white affair this holiday season? And we probably won't, but we're planning to do that in 2019. So look out for that too. So no, you do not have to be a member or a part of Dolls to Divas Incorporated, but Dolls to Divas Incorporated is going to be doing a lot more things in the future.
Yeah.
Pink Affair is one of our signature events. I definitely have moms asking me, when can I sign my daughter up? When are you going to be meeting again or whatever? So the best thing to do is contact me at the email address, dollstodivas at what is it? Dolls to
Divas
Divas
06
at gmail.com.
I know, right? Now, how do you? Because I'm listening to you go through all of this, but I also know that you have a full-time career. You're a career woman, and you have this business. You know, 'cause Dolls to Diva isn't just like a charity.
And I'm a Girl Scout leader.
You're a business, and you're a Girl Scout leader. So when we come back, would you hang out with us a little bit? Because I'd like to talk to you about that and about entrepreneurship and you know, being a mom and be able to juggle
everything. You know, how do you talk to some of the crazy parents that got the pink and gold hair, and you're trying to tell your daughter you need positive role models, and then you go to the house and you're like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just that frustrates me so much.
And
you try to
teaching our
teach
daughters
them
about seeking out nice young men.
Nice young men.
Right,
exactly.
right. With at least a paper route or something. You know,
with a job.
With a job.
Exactly.
Right.
And they can have a job at 16, 17 years old. They better have a job.
Right. And at least their role model isn't like Future. You know,
oh my goodness.
Well, you know,
let's see y'all calling out people's names. Y'all gonna get in trouble.
That frustrates
but
me.
it's true though.
Yeah.
But
It
it's
frustrates
true.
me. I'm saying, because you look at who is your role model, and that's almost what I want to ask you about the girls.
Yeah.
Who are you trying to be like? Who is your visual person?
Right.
Because if your visual person has red and green,
Hey,
and
but there's a lot of women that are more creative.
Right.
And they might have the red and green hair,
right,
but their values are good.
The
I'm more
values.
concerned about the booty shaking and the inappropriate activities and stuff like
sometimes
that.
they can't separate the two, and that's the thing.
Well,
I'm
I guess
saying,
that goes back to image, what she was talking about.
Right, image. I'm saying Lil Wayne just did the concert like Monday Night Football, and I'm looking at this dude got tattoos all on his face, his forehead, his hair, and it's like, and people are looking at him like
as a role model, and that's
as
not
a role
model,
model, and it's not. But anyway,
we're gonna be right back.
Yeah, because we got
Will
hot
you hang
topics.
out just for a second? Because we have hot topics. So when we come back, we want to talk a little bit about the image thing and what he had just mentioned, but I also want to know if you'll hang out with us for our hot topics.
Awesome, yes.
Yay! Okay, well, we'll be right back. I'm your host, Donnie Jones.
And I'm Mardy Ringer.
All righty.
Donnie Jones Live is sponsored by Don's Tree Service. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, just send us an email at DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com. That's DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com.
Hey, I am Donnie Jones, hanging out with
Mardy Ringer.
And we are back talking to Miss Tonya Henderson about her Dolls to Divas.
Wait, you gotta say it right. Tonya Henderson Freeman.
That's
all
right.
Put all of them handles
That's
on
right.
there.
Yeah, I want them to be able to find her.
Right.
Find me.
Tonya Henderson
Find
Freeman.
me.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, before we went to break, we were talking about how do you juggle having a small business and having a full-time career and being a mom and being a Girl Scout leader and
and other stuff I do,
and
right?
Everything.
And y'all,
But this
I
is a
gotta
family
throw
show.
this in there.
A family show.
She is a UGA alumni.
That's right.
Oh,
She's an AKA.
That's right.
Okay.
And she runs UGA. That's all I'm gonna say. Every time I see something on Facebook, it's either Falcons or UGA. So you know.
That's why I saw a text message. Somebody saw you on TV down there from UGA, one of your UGA friends or something like that.
Cheryl Merritt. Do you happen to know Cheryl Merritt?
No, I gotta
she
look at
texted
it.
me too, but it was the show that we taped with you all.
Oh,
Yeah, it was the people.
Marty, we getting around.
You really are.
I might have to use my real name sooner or later. You know? But that's what's up. But yeah.
Yeah, how do you?
So how do I juggle?
Yes.
One thing and is when I came in the room, I asked you that I have puffy eyes. One thing I do believe in getting sleep, like a full 8 hours.
I thought you was going in a different direction.
Yeah. Like I keep saying, it's a family show.
It's a family
show.
Get your mind out the gutter.
Right. So you said you just woke up.
No, I'm just no.
Wait, if you come in out with puffy, I'm sorry, explain. Sleep is important.
See, okay,
But
got
you
it.
need sleep. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So
We gonna
anyway,
leave you alone.
right? Please. Yeah, lots of sleep and lots of vitamins.
Okay.
And I'm just a high energy kind of girl. You
That's
know,
awesome.
get that from my dad, inheritedly or genetically or whatever you want to call it. So I don't know. If it's something that's really a passion,
Right.
you're gonna have the energy to do it.
So what advice would you give to people that do want to have a small business but they're not ready to leave their full-time career?
Right.
What would you do?
So one thing is it definitely takes a lot of time, preparation. You do need to know when to step back and not let it interfere with your full-time job. I'm very close to retiring from CDC, so my goal right now
she look like she's 35, don't she, y'all?
is revamping Dolls to Divas so that when I retire, I can do more of the meetings with the girls like I used to do. In addition to some other things that I have in mind. But juggling a career and entrepreneurship is definitely a challenge. It's not for everyone. It's not for the weak. It's for people that are really structured and goal oriented. And you know,
and
you
guess
gotta
what? If you ain't structured, believe me, because I'm not a structured person. I've had to become structured in order to be able to do what I do.
And time management is important because even on top of that, if you're a woman and a mother, you know, you have a kid that needs you as well. And then if you're married or dating or, you know, a significant other, that, you know, that's going to add, you know, a challenge as well.
You gotta make
so
time,
it's all about
time
management.
For the mate. I'm telling you that right
so
now. That's
I would
important.
say the biggest thing is time management, knowing how to set goals and achieve them, having a vision board. I just started another vision board, and it doesn't have to be a board. I put some stickers on a wall.
Just something so you can visualize.
Yeah, so you can, you know, look at your dreams and see how far you've come and you know, if you've accomplished things. And so my career is totally different from Dolls to Divas. I'm a IT person. My background is IT and statistics. So I'm a very structured person in my career. And then I get to be very creative with Dolls to Divas.
Dolls to Divas. And, well, you're going to have to come back and talk to us about that because we want to find out more about that. We've got to get into our hot topics, but one more time, how do we get in contact with you?
Okay, so I would say email is the best way to contact me. And again, it's DOLLS, the number 2, DIVAS 06. So Dolls to Divas 06 at gmail.com.
Okay, our hot topic today, Mardy.
Talk to me.
I have been hearing so much stuff in the news about how the people that didn't vote are the ones that kind of threw this whole election and that we were trying to register new voters and stuff like that. And so my hot topic today is our non-voting people of color. How should we address that? What can we do to get us up off our butts to vote so that we can see the changes in our community that we need to see?
I think that they should print out some kind of data, you know, like the day after election, and any black person that didn't vote, they should just get beaten.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's a community that comes together and it's like, okay, Mr. Alfred, you did not vote on November 6th, so your punishment, you just get 5 sticks and we just gonna beat your little tail. You know, you gotta have some kind of motivation, but actually, until it actually hits their house, sometimes people do not do anything. But that's just it.
It's hitting their house.
Right, but
it's hitting their bank account. It's hitting them where there's opportunities. It's hitting them when their communities aren't taken care of the way other communities are taken care of because they're not involved in these local elections. And
I know it's gonna sound crazy, but you know, whenever you watch the Olympics and you're watching a race, for some reason, I know this isn't right, but we do this. If there's a black man running in that race, I'm looking at it and I'm rooting for him.
Right,
you know? If it's a whole bunch of people that I don't relate to, I have no interest in it.
Right.
When we have these elections here, then when you see someone that looks like you, you're more adamant to go out there and vote. You know, Obama, when he came, everybody wanted to vote.
Right.
If he's not on the ticket, it's like,
see, that's the vibe that I'm getting now. That vibe is like, okay, there are young people that are motivated to vote, but there's still people our age that are like, dude, my vote don't count.
My vote don't count.
And it does. It does. What would you say to that?
I honestly feel like it's a really complex subject. One thing
that's why it's a hot topic.
Is that,
no, I'm just kidding.
No. But really, I think it again is that going back to home again. We have like some separatism in what people feel about voting. You know, you have some homes and they brought their children up to, know what voting is so important.
Right.
And they can give their children concrete examples.
Right.
And they can give their friends concrete examples of why voting is so important.
Yeah.
But, in the circles that we run in, are we giving people concrete reasons why they should vote?
Right.
Are we giving them the numbers and the stats on,
But,
look what happened. Like a lot of people, you got to be able to say, you can say it, but then you got to give them a concrete example.
Right.
And then, sometimes I think we, as parents and older generations need to get that excitement because like kids get excited about getting their license. You know, they'll get excited about 21. You know. Right. But they don't get excited as much about voting, you know, because they don't know as much about it, you know, and they don't.
But it feels like young people now are more excited about voting. Like we're marketing to young people. They want to make a change. Yeah. But we still got to vote. You still got 35, 40, and 50-year-old people that are not showing up in these polls.
Right.
I'm not showing up in these elections.
Yeah, I think after, and I'm just going to keep it real. I'm like, you know, after the last election, that really hurt a lot of people's feelings.
I'm still hurt.
Who you telling?
Because I feel like, you know, some folks are feeling like our political system really ain't the most honest political system. Right. So how do you even change a mind like that? Right. You know, somebody that went out and voted and is like, I'm not voting anymore. It's not working for me. You know?
And that is the
that might be some of your older generation.
Yeah, and I feel like that is some of our older generation. But we need you to vote. I'm not telling you how to vote.
Right.
Democrat. But I'm going to tell you how to vote, but you need to vote.
Right. I'm not going to tell you to vote
I'm
blue.
Independent. I'm independent, so, you know, but I'm just saying.
Stance.
Yeah, so, you know, we're not telling you how to vote, but, you know, blue
get out there and vote.
You know, I
take a stand.
I got on a pink shirt, but I also like that blue shirt he got on. That's a nice shirt.
Leave it alone.
Pretty shirt.
The key thing is have an opinion. Have an opinion.
People died for you to do this.
Right.
My grandmama died for y'all to vote. She was 103. She died this year.
My grandmama did some other things on her back for you to vote. So represent her. She had a lot of kids. That's why I'm like.
And my grandma worked for the government, and she also died for you to vote. And so we gotta make a difference, guys. What's one last thing you want to say before we head out? Because we have really enjoyed having you here.
Yeah, I have enjoyed you all too. Please look out for a Pink Affair coming up in the spring. And I'm on Facebook as Tonya Henderson Freeman, and I'm on Instagram as Dolls, the number 2 Divas. Dolls 2 Divas on Instagram.
And Marty, any parting thoughts from you?
Yeah, if you want to reach me, I'm still Yellow Butter at myspace.com.
MySpace.
You know? But no, get
that
out
was
there
his
and vote.
stripper name.
You know, right, it was. But if anything, try to do something today to make somebody's life a little bit better tomorrow. That's the biggest key about life.
That's right.
Donnie, what do you have to say?
I ain't got nothing to say other than vote, and take somebody with you and vote. You guys, we love you. We can't wait to see you next week. And thank you for listening. Once again, I'm Donnie Jones. And that is
Mardy Ringer.
And you are listening to Donnie Jones Live. Thank ya.
Thank you.
Donnie Jones Live is sponsored by Don's Tree Service. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, just send us an email at DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com. That's DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com.